It's 3 in the morning. I just made a bunch of videos, and honestly, I had this idea to sit down here and have this talk to the camera because there's something that's not talked about enough when you're trying to lose weight. The mental battle of it. It's not fair because the world already has a bias against you. The world already hates fat people to a degree. So when you think about it, you already have all the odds stacked up against you because all of a sudden, why does everyone just become a doctor? All of a sudden, everyone knows what's good for you, but the only person who knows what's good for you is you, right? Like when I was 270 pounds, everyone was trying to tell me what to do, but no one knew my situation, my circumstances, what I was going through on a day to day. And it was just not fair. And of course, I'm all for the saying life is not fair, but some people are just dealt circumstances that are so hard to avoid. And I could say I was one of those people. Like growing up, I literally just ate whatever my mother made, and nothing against her, nothing wrong with that, but she simply didn't know. So naturally, growing up, I was always on the bigger side because I didn't know the slightest thing about nutrition, right? So when you don't know anything about nutrition and calories, you kind of just eat whatever. I remember when I was 15, I was about 200, 220 pounds, very big kid in my grade, by far the biggest kid in school. And I remember that because of the way that I was honestly just bullied for it. And it was some experience. And to a way, I could thank bullying because it's probably the reason I actually ended up changing and I wouldn't be making this video here today. And really, it's just so crazy because it's just rough out there. I know how it feels when you're overweight. I know how it feels to feel like you have no hope because I was there. I had no hope. I thought it was over for me. I thought this is just how my life was. But honestly, it doesn't need to be that way. And change is possible. It just takes time, effort, and consistency. And like the mental battle of losing weight is so hard. You have so many people in your ear every single day, and it's so overwhelming on top of all the things that you have going on. And just thinking about that right now and like relating back to the old me that I don't even remember. And the reason I call my program Rebirth is because I was reborn into a whole new person. And that's why I do what I do today, making videos, making stories, DMing everybody, sending out free guides, is because I don't want anyone to ever go through what I went through. And I know what it is like. It is painful. It is not something I wish upon my worst enemy. Genuinely. Being overweight is such a burden on your mental health and your physical health. Mentally, I thought I was worthless. I thought I wasn't worth anything. I thought I wasn't worth having friends. I wasn't worth having a relationship. I wasn't worth it for people. And most importantly, I thought I just wasn't worth it to myself. Excuse me. And when you just carry that feeling of worthlessness every single day, it becomes heavier than the weight. And mentally, that's just absolutely crushing. And from experience, I was in a very, very dark place growing up. And I really think it's part of the reason why I am today, why I work so hard, why I do everything I need to do every single day, why I go to the gym, why I stay consistent, is just to never get back to that spot I was in. And that alone is enough motivation to go on and help other people. My mission is literally simple: to help other people because, man, losing weight is not easy, but it is simple. And I demonstrate that through all my videos. Go to my Instagram. It's the same name as my YouTube, same profile picture. You should be able to find it. I'm at about 370 followers right now. I'm still a very small page, but you know what? That's a blessing because at least I can help a small community than helping nobody, right? And I get so many messages like, thank you for making this video. This helped me so much. this is some great information, and that just puts such a smile on my face because I am directly contributing to helping a problem of people being overweight. And it's just such a deep thing and a deep topic that nowadays I can't even say things about it because there's people on the internet who will say like body positivity and they think me giving advice on a video reacting to another bigger person eating who was in the same exact situation I was in, who was probably going through the same exact things I went through, and watching them do all that, I can't take it. I just can't. So I give my input on those videos and people don't see that I'm just trying to help. And then I get attacked for it. I get hateful DMs for helping other people. It's a really interesting world we live in because there's so many different views on health and there's so many different views on changing your life. And there's so many different views on mental health. There's people who think mental health doesn't exist. There's people who think mental health is a disease. And there's people who think mental health is just, I don't know, your problem. And I don't know, as someone who went through that, it's really like a combination of everything, right? Because I remember in high school, middle school, I felt invisible. And not invisible like I wasn't there, invisible like nobody cared about me. Like my worth was less than other people because I had more weight on me, because I was overweight, because I was fat. How is that a fair judgment to put on another human being? It's simply not. So, man, this is really hitting home. So I went to a Catholic high school and I remember we have to wear uniforms and I have to wear this polo. And I remember my order came in for my uniform and it was too tight. And I went to school that day and people who I thought were my friends, at least people who I was friendly with, would like grab me, make fun of me, and I would laugh it off because I was good at hiding my emotions, I would say. It's kind of a skill you develop as you are someone who's overweight. You just hide your feelings because you just feel like no one cares about you and you're just not worth it. So you just have to censor your own feelings, not speak up for yourself. And that's kind of why I was the way I was when I was younger. I didn't speak up for myself. I didn't defend myself. I just let everything happen to me. And that's not a life anyone should have to live through. And that's such a reason why I'm doing what I do today. And just living through being overweight for 16 years of my life. I'm now 20 years old. I turned 20 yesterday, funny enough. And the best decision I've ever made in my life was losing weight. So if you could relate to me, you liked what you hear, subscribe, check out my Instagram. It'll be in the bio. See y'all later. I love all of you. If you're trying to lose weight, you got this. See you later.